Sirach 12 and 10, and let me get Matthew 5 and 44. We're going to show you a so-called contradiction. You got to get the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Bible. And the way you do that is by keeping the law. The way you do that is being obedient to the Most High. Lay it out there. This is the book of... You're going to Ecclesiastes? Yeah, come. Sirach 12 and verse 10. Come. Actually, he can bring this out first.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 44. But I say unto you,
right,
love your enemies.
Do what?
Love your enemies.
Jump one verse up.
Come. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 43. Ye have heard it hath been said.
You have heard, and it has been said,
thou shalt love thy neighbor.
Thou shalt love thy neighbor.
And hate thine enemy.
And hate thine enemy. So you have to think about what's being said here. Because at what point did the scripture say that you should love thine enemy? Who actually was it that said that you should hate thine enemy? You got wicked Pharisees and scribes that told you it was okay to be mad with your brother. Right? Because the Most High God said that you're not supposed to hold a grudge against your neighbor. Let me hold that and let me give Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 17. You have wicked Pharisees and scribes that like to hold grudges. You got wicked Pharisees and scribes who didn't listen to the law of the Lord. Bring it out, King.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
Thou shalt not what?
Hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor. Because if you don't love your brother and you actually hate him, you're not going to tell your brother what they're doing wrong. You're not going to tell your brother, hey, that's messed up how you did the other day. You shouldn't kill your brother. You shouldn't sleep with your brother's wife. You're going to tell your brother, oh, that's all right. Hey, she wanted you, so hey, you did what you had to do. That's hating your brother. Keep going, King.
And not suffer sin upon him.
And not do what?
Suffer sin upon him.
Because that's how you suffer sin on your brother. By not telling them what they're doing wrong. Keep going, King.
Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
Bring it out again.
Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
So you're not supposed to avenge or bear any grudge against the children of thy people. No, everybody.
Against the children of thy people.
But
thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
That's what love thy neighbor as thyself means. You so-called blacks and Hispanics, we are the same people. And we're not supposed to bear grudges against one another. We're not supposed to hate one another.
Right.
All of us were involved in the transatlantic slave trade, the sub-Saharan slave trade. Our people were put in captivity by the so-called white man. And there, the white man made it even easier for us to hate one another. But we're not supposed to bear a grudge against our people. Bring that out again.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 43. But ye have heard that it hath been said, thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy. But I say unto you,
right,
love your enemy.
Do what?
Love your enemy. Bless them that curse you.
Bless them that what?
That curse you. Do good to them that hate you.
That do what?
That hate you. And pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you.
We have people that are mayors in the city. We have people that are governors in cities. We have blacks and Hispanics that are senators and congressmen in the United States of America. And they make laws that oppress our people.
Right.
You have bosses at your job that rules over you, and they treat you like trash, and they're your own people, and they persecute you, extort you, and lie about you. And this is what Christ was saying: pray for them, love them, do good to them. Because what did they say? You kill evil with kindness. You kill them with kindness. Now, does that mean that you let them put hands on you? Does that mean that you let them destroy you? No. You don't want to be a fool. But you're supposed to love your neighbor as yourself. But let's see what God says about the white man. Let's see what God says about the Arab man. Let's see what God says about your enemy, the Chinese man.
Right.
Bring it out, King.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 10.
What's he say?
Never trust thine enemy.
Never do what?
Trust thine enemy.
Never trust your enemy. This is a different enemy. But see, the way the Bible was written, the Bible was originally written in Hebrew. So it's been translated, so the word enemy isn't being specifically defined. But you gotta read the Bible to get understanding.
That's right.
Bring it out again, King.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy.
No, love the white man.
Never trust thine enemy.
Love the Arab man.
Never trust thine enemy.
Never trust the people who put you in slavery.
That's right.
Keep going, King.
For like as iron rusteth,
Like iron rust.
so is his wickedness.
The same way that iron is guaranteed to rust, the same way that the white man always shows his wickedness.
That's right.
It doesn't matter how long he goes, giving you a high five at a basketball game, buying you a beer at a baseball game, dancing with you at a bar. No matter how that goes, the white man is always going to show you that he's the devil that the Bible speaks of.
Right.
Keep going on that,
Verse 11. Now though he humbled himself and go crouches.
King. So even though the white man so-called humbles himself and says, I'm your friend, shake my hand,
Yet take good heed and beware of him.
because he'll humble himself and go crouching and say, hey, I'm not like my ancestors. I'm one of the good white people, right? It says, take good heed of him. This is Chocolate City, so-called Chocolate City. But when the white man said, I want to live in the city, he moved our people out. And now you see all these new buildings being built around D.C. And they say, not for you, nigga. You see a couple specks of our people, right? But mainly it's for the white man.
That's right.
And the Chinese man. And the East Indian man. And they say, we're going to give you affordable housing. Is $2,200 a month affordable? Is $1,800 a month affordable? Is $3,200 a month affordable? No, they said we don't want them in here. We'll give them 1 or 2 units, but keep the niggas out. So even though he humbles himself and goes crouching, keep on, King.
Yet take good heed and beware of him.
Take good heed and beware of the so-called white man. Because what?
And that shall be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass.
So it's just like when you wipe a glass or when you wipe your mirror. It starts getting a little smudgy and foggy. So you go get you a cloth and you start wiping it off because the white man acts like he's your friend. So he's lying to you. But when you wipe that glass and you clear off that smudge, keep going, King.
And that shall know that his lust altogether.
Say it again. The Greek Bible. Yeah, the Greek Bible. That's right. We got the translations. We bringing it up. That's 1611 King James. That's right, brother. That's right. That's what we bringing out the original King James version. That's right. And it's telling you, never trust your enemy. Never trust your enemy. You know, they're clarifying when God said God so loved the world, he's not talking about everybody on the earth.
Right.
He's talking about the world of Israel, his chosen people, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
That's right.
Wait a minute. You know when it was white slavery.
Talking about when the whites had us in slavery?
No, white slavery.
Who was their slavery to?
Israel.
Oh, when Israel was in rulership on the earth?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really have them in servitude and chains, but they had to answer to us like King David was in rulership, right? Right. They had to serve King David, right? Right. And then we had the wisest king, King Solomon. The problem is that King Solomon was so wise, he started dealing with women of the other nations.
Oh yeah.
That's right, brother. You an Israelite, brother. You God's chosen people. Repent and keep the commandments. There you go, brother. That's right. That's right, brother. Keep going on that, King.
And thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. Set him not by thee.
Set him what?
Not by thee.
Don't sit next to the white man.
Right.
Don't give him a place at the table.
Right.
If you go to NATO and the European Union, you don't see no representation of our people. They didn't give you a place at the seat, a seat at the table.
Right.
So don't sit him by you. Set him not beside you.
Lest when he have overthrown thee,
Lest when he does what?
overthrown thee,
Look at BET. BET is Black Entertainment Television. Now who owns BET? The so-called white man, the East Indian man, and the Arab man.
right?
Set him not beside thee. Lest when he does what?
Overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place.
He does what?
Stand up in thy
He
place.
stands up in thy place.
Neither let him sit at thy right hand.
Neither let him what?
Sit at thy right hand.
And our people have to learn the hard way when they let the white man sit at their right hand. He always does treachery and overthrows them. Keep going, King.
Lest he seek to take thy seat.
He seeks to do what?
Take thy seat.
Uh-huh.
And better at the last remember my words and be crippled therewith.
I think a great example is that Edomite Rachel Dozier, right? You got a white woman who wanted to be black. She started getting braids, married a black man, and she found her way to be at the top of the NAACP. And it was discovered that this was a white woman in blackface. She overthrew our people and found her way to the top of one of our so-called establishments. Set him not beside thee. Don't deal or have any dealings with the white man.
Right.
We understand we're in captivity, so we have to work for the white man. We have to slave for the white man. But when you repent and keep the commandments as a nation, that means we get one day and one step closer to Christ coming back and redeeming us out of this God-forsaken hellhole.
Right.
Go back to Luke 1 and 16.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 16. An enemy speaketh sweet.
A what?
Enemy speaketh sweet with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit.
Bring it out again from the top, King.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 16. An enemy speaketh sweet with his lips, But in his heart he imagined how to throw thee into a pit.
An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips. So somebody that put you in slavery and then destroyed you mentally and then says, hey, I freed the slaves. He speaks sweet things with his lips. But he does what?
But in his heart he imagined how to throw thee into a pit.
But in his heart, he's imagining how he can use and abuse you, and then after he's done with you, throw you into the pit.
Right.
And that's what the white man does. We not coming out here to spare feelings. We not coming out here to tell lies to our people.
Right.
We're trying to wake our people up so that you don't get tricked by the white man anymore. The white man lies to you every day. Don't trust your enemy.
Right.
Your enemy tells you it's okay to tell your children that fat white man Santa Claus is coming down your chimney. The enemy tells you that the Easter bunny lays eggs. When has a bunny ever laid eggs? Our people don't examine the lies. We just tell our children lies upon lies, and the white man says it's okay. It's just a little white lie. White lies are huge lies. And the white man is the devil, the chief of all liars. And we're not going to tell you anything different because thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Holy Bible.
Right.